Lovotics refers to the research of human-to-robot relationships, as defined within the conversation between Stanislaw and Carell, where they are debating about whether it is truly feasible for a human-robot relationship. Stanislaw says that robots cannot know what love is. This could be analysed further as to what love is within this conversation. Are we considering purely romantic love, or would platonic and familial love also be counted? Throughout history, there have been demonstrations and theorizations about the different types of love. Ancient Greek philosophers, for example, viewed there as being 8 different types. Each of these are types of love, but not exclusively romantic, such as philia, which is deep friendship. Stanislaw mentions about how love is just biochemistry, which it is to some degree, as love is a mix of adrenaline, dopamine and serotonin. However, in a long attachment there is also evidence of oxytocin and vasopressin. All of this biochemistry is needed in order to biologically love somebody. However, you also experience small bursts of these hormones when you eat certain foods, such as chocolate, peppers and peas, due to the natural hormones within them. Therefore, love cannot only be due to biochemistry. Love is also about, as Stanislaw mentions, mutual recognition, which is the shared understanding of one another on an innate level. This is important for authentic relationships, both loving and platonic, because fundamentally they are built on respect, equality and insight of one another. However, it is not explicitly a breaking point if these feelings are not reciprocated, as seen in some cases of cheating or unrequited love. Love for inanimate objects is brought up by Carell. People experience love for their inanimate objects due to prolonged attachment, such as phones. Han and Shaver suggest that love is a continuation of the process of attachment. This is why people love their phones or game consoles. Humans have a tendency to anthropomorphize things that they encounter on a regular basis, for example pets sharing a bed, which then strengthens the love connection with the human and the anthropomorphized object. Theoretically, from this, humans could, and in some cases already do, anthropomorphize robots, thus leading us to the potential of relationships with robots in the future. Additionally, prolonged association paired with anthropomorphization leads to attachment in most circumstances. People gravitate towards the same objects that they have previously used, for example, having a certain seat that is theirs. These inanimate objects that people love, which Carell mentions, then have feelings of affinity and subconsciously developing a form of relationship. With the interactive nature of computers, this then means that computers could have a strengthened form of attachment for humans. Fraley's thinking is that with the power to extend ourselves by virtue of our possessions, and attachment with inanimate objects anyway, it would then not be that difficult to imagine that the computer, which can be controlled, interactive, used and possessed, could then create a level of attachment that is needed for love, based on an individual's attachment history. For example, those that have previously had electronic pets would be more likely to have the basis to fall in love with robots, as they have previously had that connection. This could be what happened with the reference in the conversation to the 1960s show The Twilight Zone, in which in the episode The Lonely, a man is given a robot and initially hates it but grows to love it, and even further mourns it when it is destroyed. Due to the prolonged exposure to it, feelings attached to it, and potentially previous attachment history, he fell in love with the robot. There are already some real-life applications of Lovotics robots that some humans have bonded to. Dr. Human Samani invented a robot which analyzes system inputs such as facial expressions, voice tones and gestures to generate suitable behaviors for the robot in real time. Samani modeled this system closely to the human emotional system, as well as enabling it to adjust its internal hormone levels to match those inputs in order to maximize potential bonding engagement. This then could lead to the development of a wider application of human-to-robot relationships as this industry grows further. Therefore, Lovotics is not as taboo as what it was once believed to be, and within reason, as Stanislaw says, it is possible that as the industry grows, the future might have people forming lifelong relationships with these love robots, whether that be romantic love or platonic.